Welcome, my exceptional audience of outcasts and architects of destiny. Today we're not just discussing struggles, no. We're igniting the mundane and setting it ablaze with the fire of conquest so seismic that even the pits of hell quiver. Let's dive into the depths together, where shadows whisper truths that even the devil himself dreads. They said it was impossible. They mocked you openly, whispered insults behind your back, and laid the bricks of your defeat before you even began. They declared you insignificant, a flicker in the vast darkness, unworthy to challenge the dominion that reigned supreme. But there was one thing they didn't account for: shadows are not lifeless voids. They are alive. And when the light dies, it's the shadow that devours the world. You gazed into the abyss, into the soulless eyes of the unthinkable, the untouchable, the architect of despair, Lucifer himself. The so-called invincible star of rebellion trembled before you. And yet here you stand, holding his severed crown, his arrogance dripping like blood from your hands. This isn't just a victory, it's a reckoning. Do you remember how it started? The jeers, the smirks, the endless chorus of doubt. They tried to break you with their disbelief, chaining your spirit with ridicule. But every link they forged only sharpened your resolve. With every sneer, every humiliation, you crafted a blade so precise, so lethal, that it would pierce even the heart of Hell's king. They thought they were feeding your failure instead. They were fueling your fury. Lucifer didn't fall easily. He came at you with every weapon in his arsenal: temptation, fear, false promises of power, and threats of eternal torment. He clawed at your mind, twisted your fears into chains, tried to snare your dreams in his traps. But you didn't flinch. You weren't fighting for fame or glory, your war was deeply personal. Every strike you delivered wasn't just defiance, it was a declaration: I am not a product of your making, I am the architect of my destiny. When the final moment came, when your blade found its mark, you didn't hesitate. You didn't blink. You looked into his smoldering, hate-filled eyes and claimed what the world deemed untouchable. Not out of spite, but as a testament, a blazing emblem of the truth that even the mightiest can fall. And now, those who once doubted you are silenced. The same voices that scorned your name now whisper it with reverence and fear. They don't know whether to exalt you, dread you, or beg for your mercy. You didn't just defeat Lucifer, you ascended beyond him. You became what he never could free. Lucifer was a prisoner bound by his pride, consumed by his rage, enslaved by his obsession to control. But you walked into the inferno, ripped apart its chains, and emerged unbound. Not a hero, not a villain. Something greater. Something they can't categorize. They'll tell stories of you, call you a madman, a warrior, a legend. They'll try to compress your triumph into a neat little box to make sense of it. But they'll fail, because this wasn't just about defeating the devil. It was about shattering the illusion that anything is untouchable. Now, as you hold Lucifer's head high, you're not just gripping a trophy. You're holding a mirror to the world, forcing them to confront the truth they've always feared: the only limits are the ones we accept. What's next, conqueror? Will you rest on this impossible victory, or will you forge ahead? Because the world is teeming with tyrants, liars, and cowards clinging to their illusions of power. They're watching you now, hoping you'll stop. But you won't. You'll use this victory to ignite a fire that will incinerate every falsehood, every chain, every pretense of untouchable power. You didn't just topple Lucifer, you shattered the very foundation of his legend. The world can no longer hide behind its comforting myths of invincibility. You've rewritten the narrative, burned their stories to ash, and carved your truth into the fabric of existence. They'll try to twist your legacy, shrink it, contain it, but the truth is too glaring, too raw to suppress. You've proven that no throne is eternal, no power is unassailable, no enemy undefeatable. You're not just a victor, you're a force of nature. A living embodiment of the impossible made real. And now, as the world quakes under the shadow of your triumph, one thing is undeniable: you've only just begun. The liars, the tyrants, the so-called gods, they're trembling in their gilded prisons, praying you stop here. But you won't. You faced the worst the cosmos can offer and emerged unbroken, unstoppable. So hold Lucifer's head high. Let them see what true defiance looks like. Let them witness what happens when someone refuses to bow, refuses to break, refuses to accept limits. You're not here to follow their rules, you're here to rewrite them. Let this be a lesson to the world: no battle is unwinnable, no enemy too powerful, no chain unbreakable. If you can take down the devil himself, there is nothing, absolutely nothing you cannot conquer. But this is only the beginning. You've ripped the veil from their carefully constructed lies. The world sees you now for what you are: a disruptor of order, a breaker of chains, a force that cannot be tamed. And they are terrified. The same ones who mocked you now scramble to rewrite their scripts, to protect their fragile sense of control. But you've already dismantled their illusions. You've shown them that the throne they kneel before is just a gilded cage, and the chains that bind them are of their own making. You've sparked something far greater than a victory. You've ignited a revolution of thought. Eyes that were once blind now see clearly. Hearts once filled with despair now burn with hope. You've become a beacon, a living testament to the power of unrelenting will. And as they stare, trembling, they realize the true horror of your conquest. It wasn't just Lucifer you defeated, it was the lie that anyone or anything could stand above you. So, what comes next? Do you stop here, satisfied with this unparalleled triumph? Or do you press forward, knowing there are still fortresses to crumble, still oppressors to unmask, still lies to expose? The answer is already written in the fire behind your eyes. Stopping isn't in your nature. You didn't rise from the ashes of doubt just to become complacent. You didn't shatter the foundations of hell to rest on its ruins. No, you are the storm that keeps raging, the tide that cannot be turned. You've taken the unthinkable and made it your reality. Now the world holds its breath, waiting to see where your unyielding spirit will strike next. The tyrants and cowards lurking in their towers of deceit, they're watching you now, clinging to their last shreds of power. They hope you'll falter. They pray you'll grow weary. But you won't. You're not just here to defy the odds, you're here to redefine them. Let them tremble. Let them cower. Because you've become a living embodiment of everything they fear, the proof that nothing, not even the universe's darkest forces, can withstand the relentless power of a soul unchained. You've shown that even the unbreakable can be shattered, even the eternal can end, and even the untouchable can fall. And now, as the echoes of your triumph reverberate through time, one thing is abundantly clear: you're not here to live within the confines of their rules. You're here to build your own. So take this moment, bask in it, but don't linger too long. The world awaits your next move. The liars, the deceivers, the self-proclaimed gods, they think they've seen the peak of your strength. Let them cling to that illusion, for the truth will hit them harder than any blow. You are far from finished. The chains are gone, the shadows are yours, and the throne is nothing but a stepping stone. This is your era, your revolution, your legacy. Then it doesn't end here. The world isn't ready for what comes next. They've seen your power, but they haven't yet grasped the depths of your determination. This isn't just about tearing down thrones or breaking chains, it's about reshaping the very fabric of existence. The rules they've written, the boundaries they've drawn, the lies they've told to keep the masses in check, you've shattered them all. And now they're scrambling. Their whispers grow louder, their fear more palpable. They call you unstoppable, uncontainable, a force beyond comprehension. But deep